Well, back guys, 10 other episode of the Outer Banks, episode 8 of season 1, and this one basically kicks off straight for the cliffhanger of the last episode, and basically get big fucking Ward hunting down John B in the boat here. I mean, I thought this was actually a pretty good scrap. It may have dragged on a wee bit too long, and there's also periods where you're thinking, well, why doesn't this Ward guy just fucking kill him, you know? Or I don't know. I feel like there was points where he could have very easily got the upper hand, but John B fighting back, he manages to escape on the jet ski. But then obviously Ward's thinking, "Oh shit, this guy's escaped. I need to make it look like he attacked me." So he sticks like the harpoon or the what was it, the crossbow they're using? That thing he used to kill fish, man. I don't know what you call that, but he basically stabs himself in the arm with it to make it look a bit more realistic. But as you can see here, I mean, at this point, everything's fucking falling apart for this guy. Honestly, it really is. But then John B basically visits that Scooter's wife's house, and then she basically reveals everything to him that Ward was with his dad the night he disappeared. Then we basically see what happened here. They get into a bit of a scuffle over percentages about the whole thing. Ward basically saying that without his equipment and boats and shit, he would never been able to find the gold of the Royal Merchant. And then they get into a bit of a scuffle. He pushes Big John. That's his name. His name's actually Big John. It's not just me putting on the name of Big John. His name is actually just Big John. So Big John, Big John. And he cracks his dome off like the metal thing in the boat. Which I actually initially thought it snapped his neck. But it turns out to split his head open. And then Ward looks like he was going to call it in. Decides not to and just throws his ass overboard. And then it turns out that Big John B had actually survived this and was on an island, but basically the last thing he ever did was engrave Redfield onto the compass, and which was basically left for Big John B to be able to track down the gold and figure out all this stuff. And yeah, and Scooter is the only guy to know about this because he actually found this jobber island and found Big John's body with the glasses. Now, if you remember a few episodes ago, well, fuck, it might be more than a few, but obviously, Policewoman, who actually dies in this episode, she fucking, and her and the deputy guy, I mean, they actually found the glasses on this island, which is pretty funny, but that's, I guess, the bottom line there, but aye. And then, this is when shit hits the fan because we've got like Pope and Key falling out here over Big John B, and then JJ has to step in, and then he points out that that's when you know there's a problem when he has to be the one that does it. But meanwhile, John B arrives, he gets the gun for these, and he also basically figures out that Cameron's construction is there, and they've took out all the gold for the house, so they've taken all the treasure. And then we basically set up for our big finale here. We've got Pope going to do his scholarship, but while he's there, he's talking about how he found the gold. But then he catches on to something and realizes that they're trying to load it onto a plane and take off. He tells them all that. During all this, though, Sarah's being forced by her dad to go to the Bahamas, and then the group basically watch all this unfold as John B drives on to stop the plane, which he does. And then Ward and Sarah get out, and then Sheriff Peterson arrives to arrest John B, but it turns out she's not there to arrest John B. She's arrest Ward on the charges of killing Big John. But then Rafe, out of nowhere, turns up and shoots Sheriff Peterson. She dies, and then he turns the gun on Sarah and John B, and essentially saving his father here. But this Rafe guy's that coked up. It's like, holy good fuck, what is going on here, guys? But anyway, another pretty good episode. I feel like these episodes, I feel like the finale was, I wouldn't say it was weak, but for a finale it's weak. I feel like 7, 8, and 9 were better than the finale, but that's the power of cliffhangers and shit there. But anyway, guys, you know what? I like this episode. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Till next time, peace.